It is live.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Friday. I would like to call to order the Village of Dalton Housing Committee meeting held via Zoom today at 5:35 p.m. Can I do a roll call, please? Kiana Belcher.
Here.
Tammy Brown.
Present.
Okay, thank you. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag
of the United
States of America,
and
to the republic
for which it
stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Right. Would Trustee Brown, would you be so happy to bring us a prayer? Bless us with prayer.
Father God, please watch over us this evening as we try to move this village forward with our housing committee meeting. Have us all come on one accord, Lord, and do what's best for the village of Dalton. I ask these things in your precious son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Trustee Brown. That was delightful. No old business on the agenda, so we'll go to new business. Letter A, rental inspection fees. So this has been a very popular topic. I've had several residents call me and email me concerning the fees for landlords. So once upon a time, the annual rental inspection fee was $35 per unit. And that was prior to this administration. Sometime last year, we increased the fees to $75 per unit. And we want to have some discussion to discuss possibly decreasing that for the residents. Any discussion? Trustee Brown, do you have anyone called you, or do you have anything in particular?
I know that the rental fees at first were actually $35 before the increase. And now my understanding that it is $75. So I would like if the board would like to take it to $50 instead of jumping an additional, $40. So I think $15 would be sufficient to make the new rental inspection $50.
Okay, so that's pretty much what I was thinking. I know, we had some discussion regarding it. A lot of residents didn't like the fact that they felt like it was totally doubled. So this way we kind of meet them in the middle. Trustee Belcher, any comments? Are you okay with the $50? I know we discussed it, but what do you think about the $50, changing it back to or taking it to the next board meeting?
I'm okay with moving it to $50. We all got to understand that we know that there is inflation. So moving it and checking surrounding suburbs, we just need to be comfortable and not try to abuse the landlords, but having these absorbent fees for most units, because some of these people it could be their homes that they're renting out to family or whatever the case may be, they live in it. So $50 is sufficient. I'm okay with moving it to the board meeting for $50, changing it to $50.
Okay, great. So $50 is what we discussed, and $50 is what we'll put on the agenda for the next meeting. Anything else?
Trustee Norwell. So I just want to be clear, because even though we're seeing rental fees and $50, this is only for multi-units after the $100 annual fee, correct? So
yes,
this is
the
per unit. So I just want to be clear, because we'll get calls saying y'all changed it to $50. We ain't making no money. So this is $50 for the per unit fee versus the $35 for per unit. So there'll still be having the $100 annual fee.
Mhm.
But then if they have any additional units, it will be $50 per unit, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just wanted for clarity.
Well, I know, Chief, he's family.
Yeah, so no, that was perfect. That was a good question because we did make changes, or we did speak at the last village board meeting once before. We made changes to the single family home. So this time we just wanted to make a note to make changes for the multi-units for the landlords. I see that Trustee House has joined us. Thank you, Trustee House. And I almost forgot about Trustee Steve. I know he's assisting us also. Okay, so if we have no further discussion with line item A, we're going to go to line item B, which is house cleaning rules. Anyone have anything in particular in regards to house cleaning rules? I know I like to first just say, guys, let's all make a note to, if you see something, say something. So as a community, I know that we want to inform each other. My neighbors, if I see something, I like to tell my neighbors, or my neighbors, I like to inform me. I do know that we also started street sweeping, correct?
To my understanding, yes, we have.
Okay, so I know we discussed, if you all know, I want residents to just learn the days for the street sweeping so that they can move their cars for the cleaners, because I heard that was an issue. Sometimes some of the cars on the streets and the street cleaners aren't able to clean the streets safely.
Well, we did talk about it some time ago, that the superintendent will put the post together like they do in the city. And from my understanding, we talked about that this last board meeting, that they will have that posted, a day in advance. So, hey, today we know that your block will be swept tomorrow. So to let everybody know that, hey, street cleaning is coming on Friday, please have your vehicles removed. So I know we talked about that last year, and in Monday's meeting, it was brought up again. Sorry, it was brought up again that the street cleaning will be posted. So hopefully they will follow through with that. Excuse me.
Okay.
Trustee
Okay.
Norwood, I have a
Yes,
question.
sure.
And I know that this may sound minute or petty, but it always has been prior to that if your garbage was taken out. So say for instance, my example is the garbage people come on Friday to pick up the garbage. On Monday, my street has been clean. I've been here 17 years, and that's how it's been. And my daughter, who stays on the opposite side of town, the garbage is picked up on Thursday, and their streets are clean on Friday. So I know with putting the signs is making it more awareness, and I know that everybody's just is not accustomed to it. But I guess my question would be, is it going to be consistent with the dates, or and I guess this is probably more public works than housing. So that would be something I think we would need to revert back to public works with, because is it more consistent with the date that it'll be every, Thursday or every Friday or whatever, or will we be just buying signs and putting them up consistently because it's changing constantly?
Gotcha. Well, like you said, it may be more of a public works question. So maybe we can look into that. We can call Corral and just see if it's something with public works or if something changed, because I know this will be new since we came aboard, correct? This will be the first real street sweeps. I always get that, street sweeping.
I don't know. Mine has, thank God, and I'm gonna knock on wood, that mine has always been when they do start street cleaning, that trash is on Friday. They come clean it on Monday. So I don't want nobody to change it. But yeah,
gotcha. Okay. So maybe we can actually bring that to the board meeting also, so that we can have that for discussion, so that we can get on one accord. so the residents are properly informed. And that's why I just wanted to discuss it, because I know residents have been asking, and some residents have been saying, hey, when are we starting the street cleaning? So I'll take that consensus. Well, do we need to take a vote for this so that we can take this to the next board meeting? Trustee Baker, you think that we should take this to the next?
No, I think we should. I mean, because this is actually a public work, so we can't really, it would go to like maybe a committee of the whole, but it's really a more public works issue versus a housing issue.
Got it. Okay. So we'll just speak with Corral. With Stacy Corral. Okay. Well, I'll just speak with him. But once we do finalize everything, we just want to bring it to the public so that you all know there's street sweeping day, so that we can be mindful so our streets will be properly clean, because I've heard some residents complain. Any input, Trustee Brown, before we move on to the next agenda item?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. So go ahead.
I just want other thing
Sorry,
before you
Trustee
go to
Belcher.
the next agenda item, if we on the housekeeping, and many, they may watch the meeting or not, but to let them know that the move-in packet, so those that move in, whether it be rental, purchase a home or whatever, is still available to view online, because a lot of people just have questions when you're moving into a new neighborhood of, who's the garbage provider, who, what internet services and out, different things. So that, I don't believe it's been updated, but I think it's still valuable information. And the reason I brought that up is because when we had tea with the trustees, somebody did mention it. And although a lot of people like paper copies, it is still visible on the Village of Dalton website.
Okay, no, that is perfect. That's perfect. We definitely want to make sure that we're all on one accord as a community. So that was great information. Anything else prior to moving forward to line item C? Okay, so line item C, the crime-free ordinance. So I want to discuss our crime-free housing ordinance. We've had this ordinance in place, which we also call the nuisance, which is also called the nuisance abatement. But it's where if a rental property after 3 misdemeanors at one address in 12-month period is where the police are called, or there's constant issues within that time period, the village can force the landlord to evict the tenant, or the license can be revoked. The rental license can be revoked and not renewed. So that's something that we want to make sure that we're enforcing and putting in place. I know that we have a lot of complaints with the trustees regarding neighbors and disturbances. So if you all do see something, say something, and you call the police, just know that we are going to make sure that we enforce the crime-free housing ordinance. Any input from any of the trustees? You have any input? Trustee Belcher?
No, I don't have any input. I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries. No worries. Any input, Trustee Brown?
I thought that it wasn't the police chief supposed to be on here tonight to go into detail with that, or no?
No, so he wouldn't, he stated that he wouldn't mind, but he didn't have the time during this, he wasn't available during this time. So he did say that we let him know next time, and he'd feel free to join us. But I called him. So this is where he went over this information with me, and he did tell me that it affects the license, and that we spoke in regards to them just enforcing it.
Okay.
But our next meeting, we will have Chief Collins on here with us.
This is the only thing with that. We've had this and discussed it previously.
Okay.
The thing of it is that we speak well, and I guess we mean to do well, but it's all about following up. It's follow up. We can say we want to do this, but are we actually really doing it? So this is the thing, we have to hold our people accountable to make sure that this is happening. Because we spoke about it before, a year or so ago. We're going to do this and we're going to do that and we're going to do that. But I definitely know we're not following through with it.
Okay. And I can agree. And that's why I just wanted to make a note to the community that we do want to start enforcing this. So residents, feel free to, if you see something, say something, make sure that you get Doan Police a call. Any other feedback, Trustee Belcher?
No, I just think that as long as we stay in communication with the housing department and the police department, we'll be able to make sure that a lot of stuff that's going on in the community, we are able to handle before it gets out of control.
And kind of just follow up with them, follow up with the police and the landlord. That makes sense. Anything else before we go to agenda item D, halfway homes? Okay, so the halfway homes. This one is also a pretty popular topic. I've had residents call me in regards to the halfway homes and questions regarding them. Do you all have any input on the halfway homes?
Yes, I do. And I actually mentioned it because not only when knocking on doors, but I also found that a home that is across the street from me is a halfway house. And I don't know if it's an ordinance there. And just like I understand that people have a right to, come back into socialization, society, and, be the best that they can be. At the same time, I have small children. So knowing that now my small children are outside and there's multiple people in this home, probably 6 or 7 people that have just been released from penitentiary, jail, or whatever, that draws concern to me because I have no knowledge of what they went to jail for, if they're looking to break in houses, if it could be a multitude of things. So I definitely, all about, people coming back into society. But I think when it comes to places of halfway houses, if these are residential homes, we need to seek some type of legal advice on how it can actually be done, if it is applicable to do, or how it can be minimized, because I feel some type of insecurity of the fact that it's probably about 8 people that live across the street that all just been released out of jail.
Okay, got you. Any input, Trustee Brown?
No, I agree. I have one as well. It's just not on my block. It's down the street from me. But again, maybe, like she said, if it's legal, we can probably draw something up and have them maybe designated to certain areas or something like that. But it's something that we all should be able to know. If it is, where are they located? How many people are residing in there? So it should be something of that nature that everybody knows. If it's in your neighborhood, where. If it is, how many people as well.
Okay.
And also, halfway houses should be licensed. So that should be something we can
let's put that. Okay. So maybe we can put an ordinance in place.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 1 second. I'm just going to take a note or two here.
Yeah, I was taking them as well.
So maybe we should implement a license, or we should just have some type of stricter guidelines.
They should be licensed. I think that they should be licensed.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's a business and they getting paid for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then that way we're just able to kind of keep tabs, have an
Mhm.
idea.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And like Trustee Belcher said, if they are licensed because it's a business, are we checking their license? You know, that's something we need to look into as well.
Okay, and that's just making sure stricter guidelines and licensing and making sure that we're checking the license. Okay, any other discussion in regards to the halfway home? So we've concluded that.
I was just being told that halfway houses should have rental license.
Okay, maybe we can look
So
into
we can
checking.
make sure that that is happening.
Okay, perfect. I think that these are great ways to kind of just keep track of what's going on in our village. Any other comments or concerns before we move?
One last thing, and I'm gonna be done.
No, you're fine.
I think
I
they
love
should be inspected as well. Because the one down the street, I've never been in there, but it doesn't look like it's up to code.
Okay, so we should make sure it's licensed and being inspected.
Yes. Yeah. Inspected by the proper state authorities, it should be. If they are halfway homes. I don't know, by being through the state, do they actually come out and take a look at it? Because the one down the street from me, I could imagine what it looks like inside, looking at it outside.
No, I mean, necessary changes that we need to, so that we're all feeling safer. Safety is that's our main concern.
Yes.
So maybe what we'll do is we'll look into everything, get all the information, and then we can just update everyone at our next housing committee meeting.
Cool.
Okay, perfect. Anything else? Any other discussion, Trustee Belcher, before we go to agenda item E, which is the land bank?
No.
Okay. So our next line item is E, the land bank. Now, this is one of our most popular topics. If you all can give me 1 second, let me see if I can share the screen. This will be our first time able to do it. Give me 1 second. Display. Hold on 1 second, guys. I am pulling it up now. Okay, guys, so it's not allowing me to do so, but Trustee Steve is going to pull it up for us on the big screen, just so that we can have a display of how it works.
My glasses.
You better stop today. Whoa.
All right, I'm pulling it up now. I'm pulling it up now. Okay, I got it.
Okay, perfect. That's all I was wondering. I'm like, I wondered if you got it. Okay, thank you so much. So while you pull that up, we can start a discussion. So the board, I know that it's been a concern of residents everywhere in our village regarding the vacancies. So the question is, hey, I have a vacant home on my block. What are we going to do? So what we did as a board, we agreed to bring in the land bank, the South Suburban Land Bank, and they're going to assist us with the vacancies. So I'm just going to show a live demonstration of how the land bank works. The board has already approved it. So at this moment, we'll start with them shortly, and we get to decide what homes we have the land banks assist us with. And once we decide what homes or prior to us deciding what homes, we come up with an agreement in regards to compensation. So once before, when we sold the Taco Bell in Dalton on Sibley, we were compensated. So we're going to work out something with the land bank. And thank you so much, Trustee Steve. So how the land bank works. In this case, the land bank, when we decide what properties, depending on the state and legislation, property is transferred to the land bank. So that's currently where we are now. The land bank will extinguish liens and clear title, which is extremely important. So those are some fees that we won't have to worry about in regards to the liens, and they're going to clear the title. They also maintain and repair the property. So that's extremely important because I feel as if that's one less duty that the village will have to worry about and be responsible for, the maintenance. I know a lot of residents have called me stating that they have homes on their blocks that have animals going inside that needs to be boarded up. So the land bank would assist us with that moving forward. They will also strategically assemble the parcels. They'll hold the property tax exempt. They have the flexible set sales price based on desired outcome, and they find the responsible buyer or developer for the property. So I personally think that in regards to housing, it's always good when you have someone who's specialized so they can be responsible and they can help us manage these homes. So all we'll do is work out an agreement with them in regards to compensation, and we'll choose which properties we allow them to assist us with, and we'll receive compensation. I think that that's one less, that's the way with the land bank working with us, it helps us avoid lawsuits. It frees up the responsibility on our end, and they're responsible. Do anyone have any comments, any discussion?
So what we're saying is that we're going to come up with some type of agreement as far as compensation with them, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So before, I know that when we had the land bank once before, when the Taco Bell was sold, we were compensated as a village.
I remember.
And so that's the goal. The goal is to if we need assistance with board ups, if the property needs to be demolished, they stated that they assist with
Right.
demolishing the properties, which is a big deal because demolishing properties can be quite expensive.
Yes.
So that's one of the things that they can assist us with. I like that. I like the fact that, again, they'll once we turn it over to them, they'll be held responsible. So it'll just help us minimize any lawsuits regarding things happening on the property or holding us responsible. Any
And
comments?
I know we said we would let them know which ones, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You've answered everything for me. Cool. I'm good.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Any comments or concerns, Trustee Belcher? Any input?
If she doesn't add one thing, trustee, I know we
Sure.
spoke in our Monday's meeting. We did talk to, I know Sandra Wells from Neighborhood Housing did mention that she would look into that guy, the one who wanted to help us put a housing program together as well. So hopefully he'll get back with Sandra, and that's something else that we can bring to the village as well, a housing program with this guy, Kyle Smith. So hopefully he's still interested. I know we never moved forward because the village administrator did not do his part on his end, rather. So hopefully that guy is still willing to come in and help us put a housing program together. If
Yes,
we're looking forward to that, if he's still available.
Well, we hope so. And no, I'm actually glad that you brought that up, Trustee Brown, because I know that's been another thing that we've been working on for the last month. I know we wanted to see if he can catch the administrator so that we can see if we can move forward with him. And we're not opposed to implement other programs. So the thing about the land bank is because we get to decide what homes we have them assist us with, we can always implement other programs and use them interchangeably. That way,
hopefully, the administrator will come through this time. Hopefully. Okay. We haven't had much success with him, so hopefully he'll come through this time.
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll try to follow up with them again next week and hope that we reach some resolve, because I know that with speaking with Ms. Wells, it seemed as if the program would be something that we would be quite interested in. At least I'm going over with the residents so that we can get their input. Anything else, Trustee Brown?
No, ma'am. Thank you so much, Trustee.
No worries. You're welcome. Trustee Belcher, any?
No, Trustee Brown kind of said it, and you did too, just making sure that the residents know that we're not opposed to other programs. They all can be used interchangeably. Our focus is just to make sure that these houses are out of, getting back on the payroll and not, just being an eyesore to the community. Mm-hmm. And this one offers, just the land bank one, offers us a little bit more security of not being at the position of a lot of liability and legal problems, because this is something that they do consistently. And once we're able to establish whatever the mayor is looking to establish, then hopefully, these programs can possibly be used interchangeably.
Okay, because I like the idea of having multiple options. Any comments?
Madam Chair, can I be recognized?
Sure. It's nice to have you, Trustee House.
Well, thank you. No, I did. I kind of want to just comment on what you've done in terms of working with the land bank to keep pushing this forward so that we do have a housing initiative in the middle of kind of some back and forth, because a lot of these programs, the one that Trustee Brown mentioned and yourself, obviously the board has to approve, but it takes a lot of cooperation within the village as well, because we need support from the administration to make sure that proper transfer stamps are done, deeds, titles, and things are signed off on. So this process probably could have been moved forward a lot faster But there was obviously some turmoil with getting the administration to sign off and push forward. And a lot of the programs do not want to come into a town where there's pushback administratively. So just kind of a kudos to you for pushing forward and getting the land bank on board with moving forward so that we can do something in the middle of kind of some turmoil. And I think that's probably the area that Commissioner Wells was having some difficulty too, because if we can't get the administration to call back on things that will benefit the community, it makes it more difficult for us to introduce more programs. So just kind of a tip my cap moment for you as chair of housing, pushing these things forward and keep going. And I just wanted to say thank you.
Well, thank you for that, Trustee House. I truly appreciate that. Our whole goal, and thank you all as a board for just working with me and assisting us with getting the proper approval throughout the board in regards to our votes so that we can bank and start somewhere, because that's how we feel. We feel as if we know that based on the on the residents' concerns, we know that that's something that we have to take care of immediately. And this is a great way to start. So I just thank you all for hearing me out and giving this out a chance and just considering it. So I appreciate that, Trustee House. Any other feedback from or input?
Madam Chair, just quick question. So since I know that we voted on this already, so it's been voted on by the board, ball back up now. So what is our next steps to kind of get this moving forward?
So we've already, so we had to first finalize the paperwork. So we finalized the paperwork and we're going to wait. Well, we'll probably follow up now that we're having this discussion. We wanted to wait for our housing committee meeting so that we could be transparent and announce it to the residents first prior to us getting started. But starting Monday, the land bank will probably get to work. Starting sometime next week, they'll probably get to work and they'll let us know our options in regards to the homes that are available. And then they'll require our feedback in regards to which ones we choose to allow them to assist us with. I hope that answers your question, Trustee Couch. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, so has the agreement been signed already?
Yes, ma'am.
The agreement been signed in reference to them to work with us, but in reference to monetary proportions, that has not been signed, correct?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. So how it works, we had to sign, of course, sign off so that we can become part of the land bank. And then what happens is we'll have any compensation, we'll sign off on any compensation prior to getting started in regards to each property. So whenever we decide to choose the property or whatever properties we allow them to assist us with, we'll decide on compensation at that time.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. Any other questions?
May I add clarity or just kind of make sure I'm understanding that part of it too?
Okay.
My understanding was that the agreement signed is an agreement that we become a member of the land bank. And once part of the land bank, the nominated member to be the appointed person with the land bank that the board selects will work with the land bank to select properties. And at the time the property is selected, that's when we'll cut our deal in terms of how much of the sale of that property goes to the village and how much of it goes to the land bank. Was that your understanding as well, or?
Yeah, no, yes, sir. Yes, Trustee House. Yep, that was absolutely correct. So, okay. And I hope we answered your question, Trustee Belcher, but I guess she was wondering once we get started, how it works. So once we choose a property and we decide on compensation, and then we move forward. If that answers, is that what you was wondering, Trustee House?
Yes. Okay. I just wanted to make sure we had the same understanding, but yes, thank you.
Okay, no problems. Any other questions or comments?
No, I just wanted it clear and on the record because I've heard in the street that somebody's saying we're not going to be compensated and we're just giving the land bank houses and stuff. So I just wanted it for on the record that we will receive compensation for these properties. And at the end of the day, once even people purchase the properties moving forward, we still would get monies off the permits and those type of things. But I just wanted to be clear that there was, the village will receive compensation off of the properties.
Oh, no, perfect. No, perfect, Trustee Belcher. I'm glad that you all asked those questions so that we're making sure that the residents are clear in regards to the process. Any other comments or concerns from the board? Okay, all right, well, hearing none, that about completes our agenda for today. We're going to move to a public comment. Before I move to public comment, I forgot a very important announcement for the residents. So Commissioner Wells sent me some really important information for the residents. You can go to the Village of Dalton this Saturday, April 23rd, the Dalton Park District, the Lester Long Fieldhouse, 14700 Everett Street, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The government is having their eligible households will be able to apply for up to $30,000 in free assistance to pay past due mortgage payments, property taxes, property insurance, and delinquent homeowner and or condo association fees. So homeowners in need of assistance can find more information on program eligibility and how they can prepare to apply at www.illinoishousinghelp.org. Again, www.illinoishousinghelp.org. Commissioner Wells did share this information with me. The applications have already started being accepted. So residents, please, if you need assistance, feel free this Saturday to go to the Lester Long Fieldhouse building so that you can get assistance with the mortgage assistance program. And that will be all before we go to public comment. If there's nothing from the board, we'll go to public comment.
You ready?
Ready.
You're ready.
The first comment is it possible for street cleaning to be posted on the Village of Dalton website? Also, is it possible for phones can be used like they were playing with the water main breaks? Good question. I can ask the public works superintendent about that. Half-foot homes need to be licensed. There's statements here. Half-foot homes need to be licensed and regulated. Be sure to check your licensure. What happened to rehabilitation and forward thinking? License are required. I guess that's, he's just saying what happened. He's asking much, he must not feel, this person must not feel it's there. Any land bank agreement, the state pays the owners substantial amount of money per person. Any land bank engagement needs to have a contractual language clearly spelled out. Lincoln is a burnt vacant property. Someone removed the board back door. It's a danger for children. And it's very close to Berger Vandenberg School. Please board the back door.
Okay.
Trustee Steve, did they give an address or just?
Yeah, that's.
Oh, I'm sorry, 14765 Lincoln.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You said back door, rear door?
He said it's vacant, right?
It's vacant. 140.
You said 14765.
14765. I'm sorry, y'all.
Okay.
I'm being Mr. Mom at the same time.
No, no worries. We appreciate you for assisting us tonight,
All right.
Trustee Steve.
The next one is I'm happy to hear that there will be some equity agreement language in the contract, so village will know the village isn't giving property away for free.
Yeah.
Be sure to, okay. Citizens, be sure to reiterate, clarify that the village, not trustees, will receive compensation. Yeah, that's a good point. That the village receive compensation, not the trustees.
Okay, you saying just make it clear, they're saying.
Yeah, make
okay.
it clear that the village will receive compensation.
Mhm.
Because I guess, that's something, some rumor that's going around that trustees are getting paid from this stuff. So
Oh, got you. Okay.
glad I turned it to me. Okay, that's pretty much it. Oh, the last comment is Trustee Norwood is doing a great job, and everybody's happy to see her. And no, I'm just joking. That wasn't me saying that.
Well, I appreciate that, Trustee Steve. You're a resident, so that means a lot coming from a resident, Steve.
That's it for public comment.
Okay, all right. Well, if there's nothing else, I would like.
We can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me right now? I'll motion to adjourn the meeting if there's nothing else.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you all. We will see you all next time at the next Housing Committee meeting.